After 97 episodes of asking other leaders what kindness means to them, I have built a framework from their answers. 5 letters, 5 pillars, 1 word. And it changed how I led, or it changed how I lead. In the next 15 minutes, I'll show you what I've learned and why most leaders only get 1 or 2 of these 5 right. Hi, I'm Gino Degregori, and welcome to the Kind Leader Podcast. I appreciate you listening to the episode. I know this is my second time doing a solo episodes. I usually have a guest across me and dive deep into it. I'm still getting into the solo style here, which I'm enjoying actually. So the last episode, I talked about 4 near enemies of kind leadership. It was niceness, conflict avoidance, performative empathy, and toxic positivity. That was the diagnosis, right? I wanted to talk to make sure, why do people think, the kind leader and some of the things that they're really not, right? But I wanted to talk about, what is the treatment? How can we truly be a kind leader through this CARES framework? I've been working with not only getting this framework from the previous episodes, but we're also working internally in my organization. Since the beginning, when I first started thinking about kind leader and what does kind mean to a lot of people, I always felt that, what is the true definition? How we get? I've had 97 different definitions of what kind leader means to each and every leader, but the reality is, how can we help? How can we somewhat define it and structure it in a way that is going to be helpful, right? And this is what I'm trying to do with the CARES framework. It's essentially allowing me to put together something that is going to be of value to you as the listener, as well as be able to train and expand not only within my organization right now, but I want you guys to potentially start leveraging this outside of it, right? And the word is CARES, and the CARES. And it's not a model I invented from scratch. it's um it's a pattern that I've been noticing in everyone I've been talking to throughout my episodes. Um, Interesting enough, it allowed, I did work with some, yeah, obviously agentic AI to work with some ideas and brainstorming. But at the end of the day, it was really came from my conversations and what I'm experiencing as a leader here in this organization that I'm leading. Um, it just didn't come from one sitting in the whiteboard and here we go. It came really from listening, and it all came together. It was really nice, right? So CARES stands for 5 things every kind leader has to get right. The C is clarity. Know yourself before you lead others. And I'll dive in a little bit deeper into each of one here in a second. A, accountability. Hold the standards with care, not fear. R, relationships. Build trust before you need it. E, empathy. Understand before you direct. And S, service. Lead for others, not from power. So I just wanted to make sure it sinks in there, right? CARES, CARES. It isn't a checklist. It's a journey from the inside out. It starts with you and it ends with the people you serve. And every pillar makes the next one possible. So for each pillar, we'll dive in and I'll just give you a little bit example because I'm going to go deeper in the next few episodes on each of these sections, right? So clarity, know yourself before you lead others. It starts with you. It's not a strategy, not a vision. It starts with you. Who are you? It took me a while. I've been leading this Bravo consulting group for the last 18 years. And being vulnerable here, I've struggled to understand, who am I, right? When I first started, to different phases in the life of Bravo. And even now I'm stepping into a new that I feel personally. I'm like, this is a new role of more of a visionary and driving things and relying more on and trusting more on folks that are around me. That took a while to really realize, right? And that took time. And I have to thank my conversations that I had with people, my guests, to go deeper and get that clarity that I needed to become a better leader, the better kind leader, that is. So the leaders who lose their team have almost always lost themselves first. And without it, every decision is a guess. With it, every decision is grounded. And what I mean by it, you don't know yourself, right? Without knowing yourself, every decision becomes you, whatever is going to land. But if you know who you are and how you're driven and how you can help others, your decisions are grounded from that place. You cannot give what you do not have. So clarity is what you bring to the room before you ever open your mouth. Again, I'll go deeper in my next episode about clarity, and I have some personal examples that I would love to share. And some tips that will help you in your career. Next one is accountability. Hold the standards with care, not fear. This is the hardest one, I think, in the most personal one that I also struggle with. Most leaders pick a side, right? Kind without standards. I'm just gonna want to make sure everybody likes me, right? So I don't have any enemies, and people think, oh, this guy is nice here and there. Or other leaders have standards without kindness, and their standard is, I got to fit them. I got to get to the mission. I got to go to profitability, numbers, 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 and forget that we have people working around us. And kind leaders, from my perspective, and in this framework, is we refuse to choose. We can hold them both as truth. They can both be part of how we become kind leaders. Accountability without kindness creates fear, but kindness without accountability creates chaos, because we are being nice, but we're not keeping people accountable, not having those conversations. And kind leadership is about bringing them both together, being kind, delivering it with kindness, and being accountable. The next word is relationships. Build trust before you need it. Trust is a savings account, if you think about it, right? You deposit slowly but sometimes you withdraw fast. And what that means is, the leaders that I admire most invest in relationship when nothing is on the line. Meaning that it could be as simple as an example is, I have an employee that I just once in a while touch base. When I say once in a while, say maybe once a month, I'm pinging and, hey, how you doing? You're saying hello out of the blue, nothing asked, nothing required, and that means a lot to people, right? Like, oh, sometimes it scares people for a second, but all I'm just saying hello. That's all. I see you. I am want to support you, and I'm here if you need anything, anything you want, or you need. But at the end of the day, you can't lead people. You can't be that leader that you want without building that trust. And you can't build that trust without building that relationship. So that's why it's important to build those relationships. That's why I put the relationships right in the middle of this word, because that is very important to be able to build that trust. The next letter is empathy, or E, in word empathy. Understand before you direct. And this is one of my favorite of the 5 letters here. This is the antidote to the performative version we talked about in the last episode. Real empathy changes what you do. Performative empathy just changes how it sounds, right? You just want to sound, you want to check the box and blah, blah, blah. But really understanding the person in front of you before you tell them what to do or your expectation is critical. I said this before in the past. I could be standing across from someone and I'm looking at a number on the floor. And from my perspective, it's a 9. And from your perspective, it's a 6. We're looking at the same thing. But the empathy means going on the other side. What are you really seeing? Oh, wow, you're seeing a 6 or a 9. That's interesting. Well, why don't you come over here? Here's my perspective. Here's what I'm seeing. So the minute you bring those two together, the walls drop and we're able to have a better conversation. A conversation where it's going to be more of a win-win. Not a conversation where I need you to do something, go do it. I don't care about you, what's going on. And that's what we're seeing. And that's what I'm trying to change. That's what we're trying to talk about. So this one is a really important one to me. The last one is service. Lead for others, not from power. Pillar that reframes everything else. This is the one essentially that I was saying starts with in from a clarity and it ends with out externally service for our people, right? Our people are the most important thing. And I think people need to continue to know that. If it wasn't for the folks that we have, we can't have a business. We can't deliver quality work to our customers. We can support our partners. We can support the mission. We can support those customers, all those different things, right? And we forget that, right? Because we're caught up in different things and KPIs and metrics and all that stuff. But my challenge and what I challenge my leadership and folks is it's not about what the people can do for us, because that's part of the job. That's they're going to be performing whatever it is that they need to perform. It's about what can we do as a leader, as a leader. What can we do for them? More changing the mind here, where obviously holistically as a company we got to keep delivering value, but what does that really mean? We need to make sure that we're providing the right service to our people in order for them to be successful. I'm sure you heard this in other frameworks and other things, but this one really gets to me because a lot of people are about titles, right? And we can't lead from a position of power or title. You have to lead from a purpose, and service is that purpose. How can I help you, James? How can I help you, John? How can I help you, Katie, or whoever's in your organization? And these are fictitious names. But how can you help the people that matter the most in your organization? So clarity, accountability, relationships, empathy, service. 5 letters, 1 word. Cares. From the inside out. I haven't put together a logo or anything like that, but I'm really passionate about this, and this is what is helping us become the kind leaders that we want to be. And I'm already starting incorporating here within the organization, training it with our leaders, middle managers, and I would love to share this. As I'm sharing it with you guys, I would love to share as materials for the future. We're putting together some great stuff there for you takeaways and potentially implement it. So as I continue to explain each and every letter, you'll see more things. So the next 5 solo episodes, I'll go deeper into each pillar. I feel like I did describe them really well today, but I want to go in deeper, right? I'm going to give you some examples, some stories, some tips and how you can really implement a lot of these, 1 per month, right? And the next one will be clarity, as I said. But I want to leave you with 2 things, 2 questions to sit with. One of these 5, clarity, accountability, relationship, empathy, and service. Which one is your strength and which one is your edge? Strength is the one you give freely. You're comfortable. You're doing it every day, right? Edge is the one that's costing you right now that you're not doing it. You're hesitant. It's like, oh, you're not comfortable. It's prickly, or you have the limiting belief that's not allowing you to do that, right? Naming both is how you grow. I challenge you, name both in there and let me know what comes through. Feel free to put comments wherever you're listening. Let me know what you think. Now, if this gave you a framework you didn't have before, share with other leaders in your life. Not 5, not 10, just 1. Because I really believe in this framework. I really believe in being a kind leader and the momentum that we're pushing, the momentum that we are creating. We're attracting the right people at the right time. So if you see this of value, please send it over to others and share it. Sharing is caring. So with that, I'll leave you with be kind, bring value, rise together. Have an amazing day.